Hey friends, welcome back to Evocative Scents. Today I will be looking at an old fragrance along with a very new fragrance as well. Very different in terms of smell and absolutely different characteristics as well. While you will be able to find many Ahmed Maghribi fragrance review on my channel, surprisingly the Ignite Oud was missing from the full review list. Although it did make an appearance in the top 10 Ahmed Maghribi fragrance video, still it is too good to be missing out on a full review. And the next perfume is from the house of Rasasi. Well, they are giving the same treatment of the Havas lineup to the Shuhrah lineup as well, and honestly I do feel that they should slow down a bit. There is another new release, the Shuhrah Elixir, and that is more of a summer fragrance, and since the winters are going on, I thought let's review the Shuhrah Boisee. But before we jump into the review, if you are watching my video for the first time, please do consider subscribing to the channel, and without any further delay, let's get into it. As usual, let's begin with the presentation and packaging. Now, if you have watched my summer oud review, you may find the packaging to be very different from now. Earlier it was available in a very small packaging in a simple paper box, and now the summer oud also comes with this kind of presentation. They have gone towards the fancy route here. First, the outer box is a simple paper box with the manufacturing expiry and the hologram for the authenticity, with all the ingredients mentioned at the back. You will also notice that it comes in just 60 ml bottle, so it is definitely on the expensive side for a Middle Eastern fragrance. And the interesting part is the oil concentration are really high, and that is very common with many Ahmed Maghribi fragrances. And we will also see what kind of performance it brings to the table. Now to a very solid inner main box. It has a rubberized and textured finish. It feels very premium, and it is definitely going to add up to the final cost. I personally feel that they could have gone with a simpler packaging, and they could have offered this fragrance at even more attractive prices. But that's just my opinion. But what do all of you feel about these lavish presentations? Would you like to see them at affordable prices for simpler packaging, or do you love these kind of presentations? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. However, the box is very solid and there is little to no chances of damage to the bottle during the transit. The cover of this box is friction fitted, so be careful while taking the bottle out, since it is different from ether extract or the liquid brown box. Instead of the regular velvet finish, it is more like a suede finish, very soft and smooth, and it will keep the bottle protected. Enough discussion about the boxes, let's move on to the bottle now. Now the bottle design is pretty much the same as the summer oud. It is a dark green frosted glass with a metallic plaque insert on the front. It says Ahmed Ignite Oud on the front, and rest of the things are pretty much the similar. Even though it has a matte finish, it does attract some fingerprints, and those can be easily wiped up. At the bottom you can see it's written Eau de Parfum concentration, but I am sure any other brand would have written extract on those. And yes, these come in 60 ml, not the usual 100 ml. So they are definitely expensive when you consider the 100 ml pricing. Personally, I love the color of the summer oud a bit more because it has that gradient sort of color finish. The cap is very light, but it is made up of metal and it clicks onto the bottle very snugly. Overall, it's a very good presentation. Now let's move on to the next fragrance. There is Shuhrah Boisee written on the front. The box has sort of a beige color, a very clean and minimalist look. This one is also not in 100 ml, it is 90 ml, and it too comes in Eau de Parfum concentration. There is a hologram for the authenticity. I don't know why, but it is written scratch me. I will check that later. Is there a code for verifying the product? If somebody knows, please let me know in the comment section down below. Honestly, I don't remember seeing it on other Rasasi fragrances. At the back there is some standard information, and finally at the bottom, as you can see, the batch code and expiry date of the fragrance and the ingredients of the perfume as well. This particular bottle is manufactured in August 2025. Even though it may seem like a plain simple box, it has a textured cloth like finish, and it feels nice to the hand as well, and you can hear it too. Now let's move on to the bottle. The bottle design is extremely similar to the original Rasasi Shuhrah, just the Shuhrah is in black color and the Boisee in silver. The juice also looks very beautiful. It has a very nice rich golden color, and it does look very premium. The cap has a mix of golden and little bit of bronze color, and it really complements the juice color. Rest of the bottle has a clean transparent look. The pricing of the new Shuhrah flankers are slightly on the higher side compared to the regular Shuhrah, so we have to take all the things into consideration. Now the atomizer color is also same as the cap color, and the cap has a chrome insert for that extra premium look. And although the cap doesn't click onto the place, it is more of the friction fit type, but to its credit it does hold onto the bottle very snugly. So let's check the atomizer of both of these fragrances. Then we will quickly move on to the smell. Now when it comes to rating the presentation and packaging, these are the respective scores. The Ignite Oud doesn't have a very wide spray, hence a 9.5, and the Boisee doesn't have a pressurized atomizer. Moving towards the smell, let's start with the Ignite Oud. Honestly, I wasn't very impressed with the smell of Ignite Oud in the beginning, but slowly it started to grow on me, but then I forgot to make a full review of this fragrance. Having said that, I did feature it in the top 10 Ahmed Maghribi fragrances, and I would highly suggest you to check that video out. But coming to the Ignite Oud, this perfume opens up with a very soft, fuzzy, warm leather accord. Not the typical animalic skanky leather, but a very soft one. This leather reminds me of the Armani coat. Don't get me wrong, this is nothing like that perfume. It is just a light reminder. The leather is combined with somewhat of a strong floral aspect, and if you have tried some scented erasers, it does remind me of that smell. But once it goes to the dry down, it becomes very green. There is patchouli, there is oak moss, but those green facets are rounded up with light hint of sweetness. Neither it is a sweet fragrance nor it is a floral fragrance, but you can detect them and they give a depth to the fragrance. When this perfume hits the final phase of the dry down, it becomes slightly musky, slightly woody. There is still some sweetness and green elements that lingers around, but personally I find this smell to be very lovely and nostalgic. While I feel that you can rock this fragrance all year round, except in the high summer heat, this perfume will really shine in the rainy season. It is as if you are walking in a lush green forest and you can smell the light sweet floral aroma in the woods. However, all said and done, this is not going to be a blind buy worthy fragrance. I would highly recommend you to try this fragrance and see whether you like this or not. Is it an unisex fragrance? Most probably yes. I would say it all depends on your fragrance choices. Now coming to the versatility aspect of this fragrance, this is definitely not a formal cologne. It is more suitable for outdoor events or when you are going for a hiking or some similar outdoor activities. And when I am saying it is meant for outdoor activities, I must mean that it has really good performance, isn't it? Well, when I initially had this perfume, this was not really performing. But currently I am getting about 7 to 8 hours of longevity and solid projection for the first hour. Since this perfume has a very high oil concentration, the projection is on the softer to moderate side. So don't expect this perfume to be very loud or a room filler or something like that. Now moving on to the next fragrance, which is polar opposite, very mass appealing fragrance, and even though this perfume is marketed for men, it is perfectly unisex in my opinion. The Shuhrah Boisee is a very sweet fragrance and it will remind you of various designer fragrances like the Azar Wanted and Stronger With You lineup because it has that typical caramel toffee like smell. Especially in the opening you will get hints of cinnamon and a nutty sticky caramel smell. Surprisingly, for such a sweet fragrance, it is not very dense in nature. In fact, it is very diffusive and airy in nature. But I have to say, in 2025 it is not exactly a new DNA. Yes, it is a very mass appealing sweet DNA and it does smell like lot of designer fragrances out there. But having tried so many sweet fragrances, this is not exactly a groundbreaking scent for me. There is sweetness from the amber, little bit of vanilla and a nutty caramel smell to make it a very gourmand fragrance. A smell that will certainly garner a lot of compliments. You can consider this fragrance for date nights or for evening wear during the cold winters. I am also getting a touch of powderiness from the lavender, but in this fragrance the lavender is not very prominent. Instead the focus is more on the nutty and caramel smell. This perfume is going to really shine in the winter season, especially if you love amber and vanilla based fragrances. But if you want something complex, slightly on the spicier side, maybe you should take a look at the Afnan 9pm elixir. I would still say it is a very smooth, well-rounded fragrance. But if you want something slightly different for winter season, I have discussed about it in top winter fragrance video. Do check that one out. Coming to the performance of Shuhrah Boisee, I am getting about 5 to 6 hours of longevity and an hour of good projection. So those were my thoughts about these two fragrances. Which one of these fragrances looks most interesting to you? Do you want something unique and challenging like the Ignite Oud, or one which is mass appealing, easy to wear, a sweet compliment getting smell like the Shuhrah Boisee? Do let me know in the comment section down below. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. And that's it for today's video. I will meet you all in an exciting new video. Till then, stay safe and as always, stay honest.